Okay, let's play the stump water progression with a little bit more Jerry Reed style syncopated pattern. And this is a pattern that I've covered in a lot of different places and different workshops I've done. My 30 finger picking patterns course on TrueFire. Here in the channel I've already taught this, but just a quick review of this pattern. We're going to play thumb on beat 1, pinch on beat 2, top 4 strings, so that's ring, middle, index plus thumb. Beat 3 is the thumb on the 5th string. Now the and of beat 3 is just the index finger by itself. Beat 4 is the thumb. Now the and of beat 4, the upbeat, is middle finger and ring finger paired together for a double stop. Here's what it sounds like in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the pattern. Here it is looped. Once again, these are straight eighth notes. Swing eighth notes would sound like this. 3 and 4 and. We can do that, but I'm going to play them as straight eighth notes, and that's really how you hear Jerry Reed play this, but you can totally adapt it and do something different by playing some swing eighth notes if you want. However, I'm going to go with straight eighth notes. So we're going to plug that pattern, which here in the channel I think I called it Jerry Reed style picking pattern number 1. So let's stick with that. We'll call it that for now. I'm going to plug that in through the whole stump water progression at 100 beats a minute. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's one of my favorite patterns. I must have done this millions of times. Really, truly, I've played this pattern so much. It's such a great rhythmic pattern for accompaniment, and it's such a great workout for your picking hand. I want to mention one thing at the very, very end, right before I went to this. I left off my middle and ring finger on the and of beat 4. So my C#7 chord, I went 1, 2, 3, and 4. I just played the thumb on beat 4, left off the ring in the middle, so that I had time to really jump over and get prepared for this lick. Especially at a faster tempo, you're going to find that that kind of thing might be necessary. The other thing I want to mention before we play it at 200 beats a minute is now that we have some syncopation on the and of beat 4, we can choose to do something called an anticipation, which means that we will change our chord on the last eighth note of the bar. In other words, on the and of beat 4, if we wanted to, with that double stop, we could change to the next chord shape early. Show you what I mean. Here it is, maybe in the bridge section I can show you more clearly. So C sharp minor, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. no anticipation. I stayed on that chord for 2 full bars. Here it is with some anticipation. I'm going to change to my next chord, which is G sharp 7 on the and of beat 4. It's called an anticipation. Here we go with the anticipation. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 2, 3. So anytime you have syncopation on the and of beat 4, with a pattern like this, you can choose to anticipate and change to the chord, the next chord, 8th note early, if you want to. Now, as you speed it up faster and faster, you're going to actually, some chord changes are a lot easier if you anticipate them. For example, if I try to finish my pattern on C sharp minor at 200 beats a minute and then jump down to my F sharp 7, I probably am not going to have time. So I may change to that chord on the and of beat 4, or sometimes at tempos that are really fast, you'll keep the pattern going and you might even play little ghost notes or dead notes that are just muffled strings. And you hear a lot of that from various players. I mean, I do it myself too. When the tempo is fast enough, you have no other choice but to change your chords and keep the pattern going. Even if that means you're going to get a few open strings or a few muffled strings, that's okay. Just stay in time, keep the pattern going, you'll be in good shape. I mentioned that because I'm going to do some anticipations. I'm going to probably play some muffled notes as I speed it up to 200 beats a minute. So that's what we're going to do next. Here it is. Oh, that's 100. Let's double that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, that last chord before the second ending, our C sharp 7, I didn't do the syncopation on the and of beat 4. I went like this, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then to this turnaround lick. So that's a great Jerry Reed style pattern, pairing middle and ring finger. Index is kind of on its own for some of the syncopation. So that one is one I would really encourage you to take some time to practice. As always, do it on 1 chord first, then on 2 chords. Do it slow. Make sure you got it accurate and clean and in the groove, in the pocket, right? Straight 8th notes. And then speed it up. I'm doing a big leap here from 100 to 200 beats per minute, but when you're practicing this on your own, you definitely want to be a little more gradual about it. But I know all of you out there can do it. Absolutely. I've seen a lot of people who even tried to start playing these patterns and maybe struggle with them. After practicing it, with enough practice, they got it down, even at 200 beats a minute, okay? So if you have any questions or anything I can help with, drop me a comment beneath the video.